What's up guys, this is Chris from Honest Outlaw here, and today we're finally out of my freaking range because it's not below zero and the wind is slightly below 30 miles an hour. And today we've got something at least pretty fun for you. The Trailblazer Arms Pivot. And this is a pretty interesting firearm. I'm not sure how this is gonna go. I've never shot anything like this before, and should be entertaining. So the Pivot is a gun, surprisingly enough, that pivots. Let me show you. Press the button up front here, slide this, slide it too far apparently. Slide this bad boy like this, take this magazine out of the stock, load it into the grip of the gun, and HK charging handle, and the gun is operational. Now the concept behind this gun, I think, is to be small until you need it to be large. And I think it does kind of a fun job of doing that. As far as like how functional and operational it is, we'll have to find out today. And that's one of the interesting things about Trailblazer Firearms. Is Trailblazer Firearms, I think, is the same company that makes the Life Guard. We contacted them about this gun because I saw this on Such's channel and it looked kind of fun for me. I like Glock carbines, I like pistol caliber carbines, I like direct blowback guns because they normally work very well. And this one has a fun new twist to it that could be very, it could be very functional, it could be very useful, but it could also be kind of one of those party trick guns that's just fun, like the pen gun or like the Life Guard, for example, but actually useful, unlike the Life Guard. So it's like a full-size Life Guard, really. Now, the reason why I say I'm kind of surprised they sent it to us is simply because this is not going to be a commercial. If you guys watch the channel, you know we don't do commercials here. We do gun reviews, and whatever happens today with this gun happens. Now, honestly, I think that's pretty brave of them, all things considering. There's a lot of channels that they could have sent this to where they could have guaranteed a positive review. Sadly, this is just not one of them. If this gun works really well, I'll talk about the things that work really well, and the things that don't work really well, we'll talk about those as well. Now, right from the front of it, right out of the box, I haven't obviously shot this yet. It looks cool, and it's an interesting concept, especially now with the whole pistol brace thing, and it's harder and harder to get shorter guns. This is an interesting topic. Now, people would say, well, it takes a long time to deploy, and I would agree with you. I think this is not meant to replace like a PDW as much as it's meant to replace like putting an upper and lower together really quickly. Whereas like if you were to race putting an upper and lower together, that might be faster, right? It's all one intuitive design. There's no messing with pivot pins and stuff like that. And so it's an interesting design, and like I said, it's also fun. Closed, it's only 20 inches long, which makes it considerably shorter than even my 9-inch BCM 300 Blackout. So it's pretty short when it's folded, and when it's open, it has a full 16-inch barrel, so you get good velocity on the 9mm cartridge. We also have the HK charging handle. We have a full M-LOK rail up top here, and we have a threaded barrel with a stock that also adjusts for length of pull as well, and happens to have spare ammo in the stock as well, so you could just keep a magazine in there and then you could put it in the gun if you wanted to, or you could have one in the gun and keep a spare in there, and that should be all you're going to need. It also takes Glock Mag, which is nice. It appears to have a pretty good trigger, and it has very, very slicked controls, which I think is good because it kind of knows what it is. This reminds me a lot of a Kel-Tec Sub 2000, you know, like the whole folding concept. People really like that idea. However, the Kel-Tec Sub 2000 has had a lot of problems over the years as far as reliability, manufacturing quality, and just the overall design is a little silly because it doesn't really work with optics. Whereas the pivot system, instead of the folding system, appears to be more friendly with optics because you don't have that problem of it folding over. Now, the downside to the pivot gun compared to the Sub 2000 is the Sub 2000 is like a $500 gun, whereas this is like $1,700, so you got to really want to get into this. That being said, for the price, it better run well, because if it doesn't run well, it's going to end up being just one of those gimmicky guns you buy for fun, and if it runs right, well, then maybe you could find a niche for something like this. And you have to understand the pivot thing is cool, but you don't have to pivot if you don't want to. If you like the ergonomics and you like the way the gun shoots, I mean, it is essentially just a rifle in its current configuration. So pivot or not, we'll see how it runs. Let's go down and shoot it. Before we do that, I want to mention my page supporters. Thank you guys very much. Because of you, we get cool shit on the channel, and you support the ammunition. We appreciate that. If you want to support us, all you have to do is go to the link in the description below and sign up. Also in that description is a link to a local shelter in Ames, Iowa. It's the YSS. Those kids could really use your help, so please get down there and check that out. I'd also like to take the time to thank the sponsor of this video, and it's a sponsor we really love, we really appreciate, and we really support. Being a responsibly armed American is both an honor and a responsibility, and it's not one that you should take lightly. I think if you're gonna carry a gun, a USCCA membership just seems to make sense, because if you're already in the category of preparing for what if and what could be, you should prepare for what comes after the what if and what could be, and USCCA really helps you out with that. Click learn more below to explore your membership options, which are risk-free with the USCCA's bulletproof money back guarantee. All right, so we're out here at the 75-yard line with a dot that is not zeroed. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna fold it out and shoot the first shots. I've never shot through it before, and just see what happens. Now, one of the interesting things I thought about was like maybe potentially flagging yourself with the barrel and stuff, but the reality is the gun can't pivot with a loaded mag in it, and it can only pivot also with the charging handle locked back straight up with the chamber empty. So it does have that safety mechanism engaged. It kind of looks like kind of a Mike Glover's gun right here with the with the optic backward, but don't worry, because we can actually flip ours forward. So what we're gonna do is do that, load the magazine in there, slap the charging handle, and I suppose we'll see what happens. Now that the dot's not zeroed yet, I just wanted to check functionality first, in like recoil and pulse and everything. It is a direct blowback gun, so it should be reliable. And it's on too, and it's pretty low recoil.
Yeah.
We have a malfunction?
Oh man.
We did not. It just didn't lock back on the Glock mag for some reason. Cool. Okay, well at least we didn't have a malfunction. So it ran that mag through. Trigger is a little bull puppy. It's kind of a little bit heavier pull with a surprisingly long reset. I gotta put my 25 round Glock mag in here. Oh, that's way hotter ammo. We're not getting the plates. Got that little guy. All right, so the gun's really accurate, I can tell you that. This is a pretty easy thing to hit with, to be honest with you. Just to see kind of what it feels like. I wanted to see if I didn't put any pressure on the stock, if the gun would not cycle and have cycle issues. But
it also looked like it was about to hit you in the face too.
I don't know, God, I can't help myself, but I feel like I should shoot it like this. Well, I mean, gimmicky or not, it's fun and it's
You're
reliable,
having fun.
This is actually really fun. So it looks like no lockback on any of the mags. I actually don't know how it would. But yeah, other than no lockback, functional so far. Huh, how about that?
Much more effective than the life guard.
Yeah, let's see. Hold on. I gotta put my concealed carry gun away. Keep overrunning it. I kind of wish it had like a stop.
Sorry about the wind.
35 yards from the hips. Oh, stock seems a little flimsy.
We're never gonna find that mag again.
I just want to see how fast it reloaded. It's not bad, because the charging handle's up here, so even though it doesn't have a lockback, you can rack it really fast, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
That's it. 100 rounds through the pivot gun.
Easy
No
peasy.
malfunctions, no problems. I did not expect that.
I did not either.
I did not expect that. Let's go talk about it. All right, so what I think of the pivot gun so far is I'm actually delightfully surprised. The recoil was nice, the trigger wasn't bad, the accuracy was good, the rate of fire was good, comes from Glock mag, shoots a 9mm cartridge, shoots Blazer brass, and it shot the cheap 115 remanufactured. I mean, as far as functionality and performance, it works really well. The one thing I didn't love is that the safety is so the safety is so tight to the gun, which I get why you would do that, that it essentially is difficult to use. That being said, the charging handle is nice and big, and it feels like something on an HK for sure. It feels like on a G3 or something. It locks really well. The ergonomics on the gun fit really good. Right here at the pivot point, you have like a little spot that you can kind of really grip down and do a C-clamp, even though you don't really need one. You control the recoil really well. The recoil is similar, if not the exact same, to like a Ruger PC carbine. Kind of like a blowback operated system with just a little bit less than maybe a blowback AR 9mm, be a little bit heavier than this. The stock's pretty ergonomic. I like that it's lowered because you can run that real heads-up display with just a regular dot. You know, this is like higher off the stock height than something like an EOTech with a riser. So it feels like you're shooting very heads-up, even though it's a very small, compact platform. The magazine and the grip is a pretty classic, you know, standard Uzi design with the blowback operation, pretty standard Uzi as well. And it runs really well. The only downside I see to this gun is probably gonna be the price.
Because it's American made.
Yep, it's fully American made. It's a niche gun. There's nothing that came before it. There's no R&D like this gun before. They had to come up with this. That explains some of the price. Very similar to guns like the Alien, for example, that very expensive. And then if the technology continues down the road, maybe it'll be a little bit better. But it's cool. If you're looking for a 9mm carbine that flips around, it's a good way to go. It's significantly more ergonomic and easier to shoot than the Kel-Tec Sub 2000. It's also more expensive than that by a wide margin. You can get 3 Sub 2000s for this. So that's one thing you're gonna have to consider. If you guys wanna see a 1,000-round review of this, let me know. If you wanna see a shorter review of it, let me know. If you don't care, let me know that too. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Please help out your local homeless shelters, and remember to recycle. I'll check you later.
Are you ready for me to review the Trailblazer arms pivot thingy? My Batman voice like Grand Thumb. That's what's gonna happen.